So this morning, as I was studying the Bible study that I'm going through, it's Beth Moore's David, Seeking a Heart Like His. She had me reading Psalm 69:20, and just talking about the topic is an active sympathy for the suffering. And as I was reading it, and I'll read it to you here in a second, and then I'll tell you the question that she asked, and then what just really came to me that made me want to share this today or this morning. So for Psalm 69:20, it says, let's find it here. Scorn has broke my heart and has left me helpless. I looked for sympathy, but there was none. For comforters, but I found none. So saying I couldn't find anybody to sympathize with me or comfort me. And so the question that she asks is, have you ever needed a sympathetic ear or gesture from another person, but were unable to find it? And I said, yes. And then she asked to share when. And so as I was sharing it, I think back on a time that could normally kind of make me feel a little bitter, because I felt completely alone in the world. It was after my mom died and I just went through a divorce, and I moved across on the other side of town. So of course I was completely alone, cut off from everybody, but I was also making all kinds of bad choices that were just unlike myself. I was just doing a lot of things that was not like me because I was just so lost. I was so broken over the losses and the changes in my life to be completely alone in the world. Never had I lived alone, and been responsible for myself 100%. And so as I'm writing that down and elaborating on it, it dawned on me, and I've known this before, but as I was saying that there was no one but God who was there for me. And the second thought I got was, praise the Lord for that. That's the purpose. That's the purpose for allowing us to go through those seasons where we feel completely cut off, where we feel completely alone, and where we feel there's no one, as he says, that is to sympathize with our broken heart or to comfort us. Because if we had people that we could turn to for that during those times, we wouldn't turn to God. We just wouldn't. It's just not in our nature to do that. And I am so thankful. Like, I can't even describe how thankful, because that changed my life. It changed my life. Like, I no longer depended on men in my life. I no longer depended on just human beings to be the ones to make me happy, to be the ones to bring me comfort, to be the ones that I set my foundation on, my security on. Like, I had all of that stripped away completely, and I had nothing but God to lean on. And through that, I discovered what an amazing God we have. He gives you sympathy. He gives you comfort. He gives you peace. He gives you joy. Through that time of me just desperately seeking him, on my knees, just seeking him and crying out to him, it was a bittersweet time. I will have to say, those times that sometimes seem like the darkest times were also the best times of my life. And that's what bittersweet, I don't know if you've ever heard that term or used it, but the bittersweet times. It was bittersweet times. It was bittersweet times towards the end of my mom's life when she was in the hospital and dying. It was bittersweet because that was some sweet time with her. The last moments that we had, the last year that we had with her. But it was tough watching her suffer. It was tough letting her go. Same thing with God. Like, it was bittersweet. I was broken. My life was just crumbling. Everything. Lost a job. I can't even name all the things that I was going through at the time. Lost my spouse. Lost my mom. Everything. Lost my family for a while. I lost my extended family. Like, not extended, but my in-laws. Like, they were my parents too. And when I got divorced, I lost them. So I lost my mom, lost my dad because he was still alive, but he was just lost in the grief. He wasn't capable of taking care of himself or me, much less me. And then during the divorce, I lost for a short time. I lost my mother and father-in-law and sister and brother, and it was heartbreaking to me. And but I thank God for it, because that's when he stepped in so big. And that was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, and my passion and my love and my gratitude for the Lord has not wavered. Well, I mean, I have my bad days. There are days when I feel like I don't sense his presence, but nothing like I was before. But for the most part, I know all I have to do is turn back to him. But man, it changed my life. I am not the same person. And so I am 100% thankful. And I praise the Lord that there was, during that time, no one for me to lean on. No one but him. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't change it for anything. So I just want to encourage you through this difficult time. When you go through difficult, scary times, remember where your foundation is. And if you don't have the faith, that's okay. God knows your thoughts, and he knows how hard it is. We're human beings, and that's why he brought his son to die on the cross for us, because he knew how fragile we are, how weak we are. He knows that. He sympathizes with our weakness because Christ walked here on earth as a human being. Jesus was all God and all human. He experienced both, so he knew how hard it was. So they sympathize, but you just have to turn to him. You just turn to him and say, I don't even know if I believe in you. I don't even know if I believe in this word, but I want to. That's where it begins. You say, I want to, God. Please give me faith. Please show me that you're real. Show me. Help me feel your presence, God. Show me. So, just go to him and ask him, and you will not be let down. You just have to take the initiative and just call on him, and he will guide you and he will help you, because that's what he wants. He's going to help you with the things that are good for you, right? He's going to help you and guide you. And if you're asking to know him, he's going to make himself evident. So, all right, well, I'll wrap it up. Didn't want to make it too long, but I hope that helped somebody today. And if you need any help with your walk with the Lord, or you have any questions about the Bible, I did not know how to read the Bible. I've said that many times, but I never want to assume that somebody watching this has heard my story before. But I used to try to read the Bible. I was always curious, but I would start from the beginning and read it like a book, because that's how you read books. But I got lost because that's the Old Testament. And so if you need help just understanding the Bible and how do you read it, reach out to me. I would love to help you in any way I can, because once I learned how the Bible was made up and I learned how to read it, it's not complicated. When I just learn how it's put together, then I know where to start and what it's about. It makes the biggest difference in the world. So if I can help you with that, let me know. Anyways, all right, well, I'll let you go, but I hope y'all have a wonderful day today, and I love you all. Goodbye.